Hello and welcome to another build tutorial with me, Scorpios, and this week we are going to be building this Victorian house. So here on my channel I have actually covered a similar design before, but I wanted to do another tutorial here and hopefully this tutorial will be easy to follow. And if you do decide to build this in your own world, leave a comment down below and let me know how it goes. And down in the video description, you will be able to find a list of blocks that you will need for this build. And with that said, let's start building. The first step here is to lay down a foundation, and as you can see here, we are just going to put down one layer of nether brick blocks. And as for the front here, we are going to put down some nether brick slabs, and here I'm just going to fill in this area here. Alright, and after that I'm just going to keep increasing the height of this build. And while I am doing that, I am also mixing in some nether brick stairs, which is a good way to add some texture to the walls. And after that, let's add a front door to this build, and here I'm going to replace the second and the third block at the very center of this wall here with a door. And after that, let's add two more layers of nether brick blocks just to this front wall here. Alright, so we're just going to keep increasing the height of this wall here. So for this step here, we are going to be using our red nether bricks. And we're going to start by putting down a 5 blocks tall rectangular section. And as you can see here, I have left a hole in the middle, which we're going to come back later and turn it into a window. But for now, let's focus on finishing this wall here. And for the next layer that we are adding, we're just going to put down 9 red nether brick blocks. And for the next 2 layers, we are going to have 7 blocks on each layer. And the 2 layers after that would be 5 blocks wide, and after that 3 blocks, so on and so forth. And before we move on to the next wall, let's take a look at the measurement of these windows. Alright, I hope you're taking notes because we are going to move on to this wall here. And this wall here is arguably easier to build because as you can see here, it is really just a huge rectangle. Just going to show you some measurements here so that you can follow along in the building process. And after that, we are going to work on this wall here in the back. And this wall should be pretty easy to build because as you can see here, the shape of this wall matches up exactly with the wall in the front. So once again, I'm just going to pause the video here to give you a sense of the size of these windows. So moving on here, counterclockwise, we are just going to start working on this wall here. And this step is pretty simple. As you can see here, I am just going to fill in this entire wall. And by the way, everything that you're seeing here, we are just adding 7 blocks of red nether brick blocks. And after that, let's work on this wall here. So let's start by putting down 3 layers of red nether brick blocks. And starting on the 4th layer, we are going to keep building up, but as you can see here, we are going to reserve a 2x2 space for a window here. And on top of the window, we are going to add 2 more layers of building blocks, and on top of that, we are going to put in another one of these windows. Alright, and let's enclose this entire structure, and as you can see here on the layer above, we are just going to form a square all the way around this tower. As you can see here, we are going to put in 3 more windows on these 3 walls outside here. Alright, and after that we are going to start working on decorating this structure. So let's start on the front entrance here, and on the lower half of the 5th block we are going to place down 7 Blackstone slabs like this. And after that we are going to come down half a block and add another 7 Blackstone slabs. And on the same level here, let's also add 1 slab on each end. Alright, and after that we're going to come down yet another half a block, and this time we're going to put in a mixture of nether brick slabs and Blackstone slabs. And once that is complete, we are going to finish this area by putting in some Blackstone blocks like this on the ground level. And as long as the shape of this area roughly matches with the cover that we had just completed, it will be fine. So as you can see here, I am tweaking around the shape of this area. And after that, the next step is to put in some support columns, and each one of these columns is going to consist of a Blackstone wall at the bottom and nether brick fence posts on top. And another thing that you can do to make this house really come together is to work on a great window design. So let's start by placing down a mixture of nether brick blocks and nether brick slabs at the bottom of this window here. And on top here, we are going to put in a bunch of upside down nether brick stairs. And here in my design, I am also putting in some nether brick slabs in between them. And in between here, we are just going to put in some nether brick walls. And after that, let's finish this window here with some nether brick stairs and one nether brick wall on each side like this. And the next window that we're going to work on is this window here on top, and the build palette here is going to be a bit different. So as you can see here, I am literally just putting down some red nether brick stairs on the corners here like this. And after that is complete, I am actually going to move on to this second wall here, and here I'm going to show you a slightly different technique for building these windows. So for this window here, I am going to start by replacing some of the wall blocks along the window with nether brick blocks. And along the lower edge of these windows, we are going to put in some nether brick slabs and nether brick blocks in the middle here. And on top of these nether brick blocks, we are just going to put in some nether brick walls. And in order to finish here, we are just going to put in some nether brick slabs on top and throw in some nether brick stairs on the edges. So for the rest of these windows here, we are pretty much just going to be using the same technique. So as you can see here on the back of this house, we're going to decorate 2 more windows here using pretty much the same pattern. So feel free to play around with the window design if you are building this in your own world. And after that, we are going to start working on the windows here on this tower. And here we're going to start with this window at the bottom. And what we're going to do here is to start with a layer of nether brick stairs on top. And after that, we're just going to create a window frame by putting down some nether brick walls along the side here. And let's finish this frame by putting down some upside down nether brick stairs. And basically what I'm doing here is that these windows are going to become less complex as we build up. So here the frame for this window in the middle is just a bunch of nether brick stairs. And for the windows here on the top layer, we are pretty much doing the same thing, but as you can see here, we are going to position the stair blocks just differently, just to make it seem like these windows are smaller than they really are. And before moving on to the next step, another thing that I'm also going to add here is just putting down one layer of nether brick blocks along the walls of this tower like this. Alright, and after that we are going to start working on the roof of this building. So let's start by working out a frame for this roof here, and as you can see here, we are going to start on the side of one of these walls here. And here the frame is going to extend 2 blocks beyond the wall, and basically this frame is going to go all the way around this build. So here on this side of this house, let's take a look at how to actually construct this frame here. So here we are going to put down an upside down stair block and a third stair block on top like this, another upside down stair block in the back here, and on top here we are going to first place down a solid block here, and on top of the solid block we are going to put down another stair block. And after that, we are just going to be repeating the same pattern. So as you can see here, an upside down stair block here and a solid block on top with another stair block on top. And we're just going to be repeating this exact pattern until we reach the center of this roof structure. Alright, and after that, we are just going to extend this roof structure here along the top edge of this wall here. So we're just going to put down a layer of nether brick stairs. And as for the back wall here, we are just going to be doing the same thing as what we did in the front of the building. And here I'm going to show you what to do when you actually reach the center of the structure here. And on top here, instead of an upside down stair block, we are going to put in a fence post instead. And on top of the fence post, let's put in a solid block. And you can put in additional blocks on top as well, but it doesn't actually really matter for this stage. Instead, let's just go ahead and finish the rest of this roof structure here. And after that, I'm just going to connect this entire roof structure together on top here by putting down one layer of solid block. And let's add some more decoration here as well. So here we're just going to put in some fence posts and some solid blocks with some nether brick walls on top. And in my case, on each end of this roof structure, I'm just going to put in an additional fence post on top of the nether brick wall. And the step after that is pretty simple. So as you can see here, we are just going to put in a lot of Blackstone blocks to fill in the rest of this roof structure. And basically you're just going along the roof frame that you had just built and just going across the frame to fill in every single block in between, following the same shape. So yeah, just make sure that every single block on this roof is covered up, and after that we are going to start working on a roof for this tower here. And the first thing we're going to do here is to extend the existing walls by putting down some upside down red nether brick stairs. And let's also add in some decoration by putting some fence posts and walls. Alright, and once that is done, we are ready to start working on the roof structure itself. So for this step, we are going to take out our nether brick stairs once again, and on the block above the existing wall we are just going to create this shape that is roughly a square shape with some curvature on the corners. And by the way, I ended up running into the existing roof structure, but it wasn't a big deal. I just moved a couple of blocks around and I was able to fix the issue. Alright, so once we have an outline here, we are going to add some height to this roof here. And the basic structure we are using here is nether brick blocks on the edge with Blackstone in the middle. And we're just going to make this roof structure narrower as we build up. So as you can see here, every 2 or 3 blocks we build up, we are going to reduce the size of this roof. That is until we reach the center of this roof here. And at that point, we are just going to enclose this entire structure by putting down a layer of 4 nether brick blocks. And on top of that, we are just going to put down 4 additional nether brick stairs. And after that, our build here is complete. So that is all I have for this week, a Victorian house using nether materials. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider leaving a like. And with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.